I'm still realizing it, I suppose, every day that I'm able to go out and to perform for people and to affect someone.
When a shy 17-year-old named Jonathan Antoine walked onto the stage of Britain's Got Talent in 2012, few expected magic. He wore a simple t-shirt, his shoulders hunched, his eyes darting nervously beneath a fringe of dark hair. But when he began to sing the prayer, time seemed to stop. The voice that filled the theater was pure, emotional, and impossibly mature. Within seconds, the audience was on its feet. Simon Cowell, who seconds earlier had doubted him, sat stunned. Overnight, Jonathan became a global sensation, a young tenor compared to legends like Pavarotti. But what the audience didn't see was the long, painful journey that had brought him to that stage. The bullying, the loneliness, and the private battles that had shaped the man behind the extraordinary voice. Early life and a hidden gift. Jonathan Antoine was born on January 13, 1995, in Chigwell, Essex. From the outside, it looked like an idyllic childhood. Yet behind the calm surface, he was a sensitive child who struggled to fit in. By age 6, he already possessed what musicians call perfect pitch, the rare ability to identify notes without a reference tone. Music came naturally to him. It was his language, his safe space. But at school, he found little acceptance. Children teased him for his weight, and teachers often found him sitting alone. To soothe himself, he would hum long melodies, creating tunes in his mind to drown out the noise of the world. His mother, Julie, remembered hearing him quietly composing songs under his breath, unaware that those small acts of comfort would one day become the foundation of a remarkable career. A voice discovered by chance. At age 10, during a routine choir audition, Jonathan's life changed. A substitute teacher asked the class to sing, and he tried to hide behind the others. But when he finally opened his mouth, the room froze. His voice had the depth and tone of a grown tenor, rich, controlled, and resonant. The teacher later said it was like hearing Pavarotti in miniature. That discovery led to school concerts, local festivals, and his first taste of applause instead of ridicule. The music that had once been his private refuge suddenly became his purpose. He practiced endlessly, teaching himself by listening to recordings of great opera singers. By his mid-teens, he had won competitions across East London and earned a coveted spot in the Royal Academy of Music's junior program, one of only a few students accepted that year. The making of a young performer. At the Royal Academy, Jonathan spent his weekends immersed in music, hours of technique training, theory lessons, and performance workshops. His instructors noticed something unusual. He didn't just memorize songs, he seemed to feel them, as if he lived inside the notes. Within months, he was cast in lead roles, including the magic flute, becoming one of the youngest students ever to do so. Yet even as his talent blossomed, insecurity remained his shadow. He battled anxiety and self-doubt, often convinced he didn't belong among the confident, polished students around him. Still, every time he sang, the fear disappeared. Music, once again, became his armor. Meeting Charlotte and finding balance. Everything shifted in 2011 when his high school music teacher paired him with classmate Charlotte Giaconelli for a duet. She was confident and outgoing, the opposite of Jonathan's reserved nature. But together, their voices blended with breathtaking harmony. Their teacher recognized the chemistry immediately and began booking small performances for them at churches and community events. Charlotte pushed Jonathan out of his comfort zone, helping him believe that audiences might love him for his gift rather than judge him for his appearance. Over the next few months, they performed everywhere they could, charity dinners, weddings, and local halls, building both confidence and friendship. The duo divides and two paths emerge. By 2014, creative differences began to show. Jonathan wanted to pursue classical opera. Charlotte was drawn to musical theater. They decided, amicably, to go their separate ways, an emotional but necessary step. Sony offered them rare solo contracts, and Jonathan, just 19, prepared to stand alone for the first time. His debut solo album, Tenore, released that October, topped the classical charts and reached number 13 on the UK pop list, making him the youngest tenor ever to achieve that feat. Critics praised his maturity and emotional depth. The shy boy who once doubted himself had become a serious artist in his own right, rediscovering himself. Despite success, Jonathan needed time to rebuild privately. The pace of fame had taken a toll, and he withdrew from the spotlight to focus on health and self-understanding. He began walking daily, changed his diet, and lost significant weight. Not for image, but for well-being. He discovered that routine helped quiet his anxiety. For years, he had felt exhausted by social demands and overstimulation. He didn't know why. Only later would he realize those struggles had an explanation. The long-awaited revelation. In 2023, during an interview in Australia, Jonathan spoke publicly for the first time about being diagnosed with autism the previous year. For him, the revelation was both startling and freeing. It explained a lifetime of confusion, the sensitivity, the exhaustion after interviews, the way music had always been the one place where everything made sense. "It felt like I'd spent 28 years in the dark," he said. Sharing the news took courage. He had kept it private for months, afraid of being misunderstood. But when he finally spoke, the response was overwhelmingly supportive. Fans thanked him for giving voice to their own experiences. Fellow performers praised his honesty. It was a turning point. Jonathan was no longer hiding behind perfection. He was embracing authenticity, using his voice for change. After revealing his diagnosis, Jonathan became an advocate for mental health awareness and neurodiversity. He joined campaigns such as Classic FM's Make Some Noise and worked with organizations promoting understanding of autism. Rather than simply lending his name, he spoke openly about what daily life felt like, how he managed anxiety, how structure helped him function, and how creativity became his therapy. His words reached millions online, inspiring others to seek help and embrace their differences. "For years, I thought something was wrong with me," he wrote on World Autism Awareness Day. "Now I know it's simply how my brain is wired, and I wouldn't change that." Love, support, and new strength. Amid his professional reinvention, Jonathan also found personal happiness. Around 2015, he met Canadian waitress Michelle Doucet through an online chat site. Their friendship grew into a relationship built on mutual understanding and respect. Michelle became his anchor, someone who loved him for who he was, not the voice he carried. She encouraged his creativity and helped him navigate fame with gentleness. Jonathan later said she inspired several songs on his album Believe, calling her the light of my life. Together, they balanced ordinary moments, walking, cooking, traveling, with the extraordinary demands of his career. Reaching new heights, Jonathan's artistic evolution continued. In 2020, he released Going the Distance, an ambitious concept album created with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra and produced by Grammy winner Greg Field. Structured in 3 acts, it mirrored his own transformation, from self-doubt to self-acceptance. The project culminated in a televised concert for PBS, where audiences saw not a nervous teenager, but a confident artist in full command of his gift. Then, in 2024, he unveiled By Request, the Diane Warren Songbook 1, collaborating with one of pop music's most celebrated songwriters. The collection showcased his ability to bridge classical technique with modern emotion, proving that he could move seamlessly between worlds. A life beyond the stage. Today, Jonathan lives quietly between tours, balancing creativity with personal well-being. His daily walks remain a ritual, 10,000 steps, rain or shine. He continues to support charities for children's health and mental health awareness, using his platform to remind others that success means nothing without self-care. Financially independent and artistically fulfilled, he now measures achievement not by chart positions but by peace of mind. His YouTube performances have amassed tens of millions of views, yet he still answers fan messages with gratitude and humility. Full circle. More than a decade after that first audition, Jonathan Antoine has become far more than a reality TV discovery. He's a symbol of resilience, proof that sensitivity can coexist with strength, and that vulnerability can inspire millions. The boy who once hid behind classmates found his courage in song, transforming pain into beauty. His journey, from bullied child to celebrated tenor, from self-doubt to self-understanding, is a reminder that every voice, when finally heard, carries the power to heal. Jonathan still sings the prayer at many of his concerts, and each time, the meaning deepens. It is no longer just a song. It is a reflection of his life, a testament to the belief that out of hardship can rise something extraordinary.